I actually changed the title to try and be a little bit more catchy than that exceedingly boring one that I submitted about 2 or 3 months ago. So I want to talk today about dynamic dust management, so dust that's in the air that's blowing all around like some of the footage we just saw on the last presenter's slide. And also to cheekily explain why water sucks in these environments to actually try and manage dust, and in particular coal dust, but most fine dusts as well fall into this category. So I'll give a quick outline of GRT, who we are, explain why water does suck, and then explain how we can make it work, and then get to the thing where we can manage dynamic dust suppression. So you can probably tell by the way I'm standing that that's a picture of me actually as well, with my hands on my hips. But so GRT is an Australian-owned engineering and manufacturing company operating here in Australia and internationally. We're based here, our headquarters are here on the Gold Coast, but we work all across particularly Queensland, New South Wales, into Victoria, and also internationally into areas like India, Brazil, and the UAE, and as well as into New Zealand. And we're a dust control company. That's what we do. That's what we focus on. It's not an add-on for us. We don't sell oils. We don't sell spray cans as well. We're a dust control company. This is really our wheelhouse. So we've been working on solving dust control problems in a number of challenging industries and countries for the last 7 or 8 years. A lot of our focus has been on things that encapsulate dust, treating roads, keeping dust down on the ground. But as we came in a few years ago, as more and more was coming out about particularly black lung coming out so prevalent in the media, a big realisation that the industry, and we've been in this forum at the conference here for the last 3 years, and it's just been interesting to see how it's gone from everyone reeling a little bit to now people actually getting in place mechanisms to solve these issues. So we thought, look, dust is what we do. So we said, well, in about 2016, I said, can we come up with something to assist the industry? Can we help solve this problem, in particular in underground coal mining environments? We've got a range of products for haul roads, workshop areas, stockpiles, that sort of thing. But I just want to talk about this product in particular that we've developed. And you can come and see me. Obviously, I've got a booth down in the exhibition hall. So we started to look into started a research project. We looked into the issues, looked into what people were doing currently, what is industry doing to try and manage this. Then we started looking at different chemistries, analysing them, how that interacts with water, how that interacts with mine water, which is an important consideration because it's not as good as the stuff that comes out of the tap when you're at home. And then how does this interact with coal? How is water interacting with coal? Started a number of our own laboratory trials, and then we got things independently verified as well. And now over the last 12 months, we've been doing a number of field trials and gotten some good acceptance and some really good results in live mining environments, which is quite difficult to do, but we've had some good partners along the way that have worked in with us. And the learnings here have also been able to transfer from the underground up into actually open cut environments, areas like the ROM as well, crushing areas. So why does water suck for coal dust suppression? So we can't change the coal, and for instance, and we can't change the rock that's coming out with it, the things that are also containing silica. But we can change the nature of the water that we're trying to use to manage those things. And water, just going back to the previous slide, is why does it suck? And there's 2 elements about water that make it so suckful. I'm saying suck a lot, aren't I? You'll remember it at least. So the first one is surface tension. Water has very high surface tension. And then also the surface charge. So hopefully this works automatically. Little video, nice thematic music there. So we worked hard and we've developed this product, Activate, which gets dosed in to the water that you are spraying currently for for both spark arrest and dust suppression. And you can see those 2 points there, surface tension and the charge, the ionic charge at the surface of the water is very important. A lot of dust, particularly fine dust and particularly coal dust, are very hydrophobic, which means that they hate water, or I mean phobic means fear, but obviously in this thing it hates to interact with water. A couple of examples here just in the lab. You can see on the left and the difference from the right of how that coal dust just dove straight into that water column that's been treated. Now you can just raise and wave your hands like that as the music builds. So what you're seeing there is that those little stirrers are spinning at 600 RPM. And even though it's absolutely going the clappers like that, when it's just water, you cannot mix water and coal dust. And what we'll see in a second is that even after all that mechanical action, that the coal dust just sits on the surface, nearly all of it is just sitting there still dry. So it's not even wet, it's sitting there because the coal dust is trying to get out of that water. The reason we went this way, and the guys that won the award last year, and I applaud them for that, at Grass Tree, that's been some great work there as well. Our system is a little bit different there. We've also invested a lot of work into hardware, how to get the product into the water. And the other thing there is good to see guys that are obviously from the development miners, which is a difficult, much more difficult than say a longwall system because the flows are either on or off. Whereas with a continuous miner, that flow is just up and down, depends if it's stationary, if they're shearing, if they're drilling as well. All those things impact on how much water flow is. So we've also developed technology that is intrinsically safe in that it runs off the water flow as its power source, that doses in the product, which is proportional to the flow, so you're never overdosing it as well. So an important factor there. So just on the independent verification, I know this is a little bit small to see, but so we went to a leading university to verify the two attributes that I was talking about, surface tension and then the charge, and then how, if we can alter this, how we can help solve the problem. Now this has, that's the laser pointer, is it? Yep. So you can see here we actually did it with both just normal water and then with simulated mine water. So we added some salts, dissolved minerals into it to try and show that how does it react then in a more real life environment. What you see here is actually that the product works more efficient when the water's a bit crappy. So when it's got those things, so there's a synergy there that, I mean, we didn't design it like that, but that's just what the results show. So it's actually good in the water that you would expect to find in a mining environment. No worries. So here you can see this green line is actually that's the typical dosage rate of 1 to 2,000 that we typically go in with as our starting point. We also so we compared it here. This is then droplet pickup. I'm sorry, not droplet, dust particle pickup by droplet. I'll show the next slide, which is quite interesting as well. And we compared it against one of our leading competitors as well. I won't name them, but in this space as well. So we're surfactant 1. We're number 1. So you can see the results there in all the different situations. We're at least twice as good as that other competitor, but you can also see up to 12 times better than water alone at particle capture. And this is those little particles here. So these are droplets of water. They're 1.25 microlitres, these droplet sizes. And then you can see the fine coal dust here and how it gets captured by a droplet. An interesting one down here, I've had people say that looks a bit like my head, sort of nothing on top and a bit shaggy down the bottom. So that's a water droplet, and it's actually been able to pick up that coal dust, but see how it's only sticking to the surface of the droplet? Now, what they found was if there was any sort of impact on that, the coal dust just dropped off. Whereas you can see up here with the product that we've developed, here is that it's captured up into the droplet, which is the key because, and even when you atomize water, which people use as part of their techniques, and it can be part of it, can be part of a good technique to manage dust, is that it still only acts as a barrier because you've still got really small magnets trying to push against the same charge profile. So it's still the same. You've got to change that charge profile, which is the key that we've found. So just to finish up on this slide, GRT Activate, that's the product that we developed. We love to continue to work with industry. If you're looking to solve and improve your dust performance, we love to work with you. The product is, I haven't just grabbed that off the internet. It is, we're officially Australian made and owned. It's 100% from all the way from cradle to grave, an Australian technology. It works and it works fast, and speed is another key with a product like this. It has to work quickly because it's got to race to that surface and then grab that dust all in fractions of a second. And it's very safe also. Just to touch on that, the product is very safe. It's used at low concentrations, but just inherently it's very safe. It's come out of industries like the food and cosmetics. Now, I'm not wearing eyeliner today, but this style of technology is actually in eyeliner at about 4 times the dose than any miner would ever come in contact with it. So it's that safe to be in and around all the time. Thanks, and we probably don't have time for questions, but please come down and see me, and I'd happy to talk to you further down in the exhibition hall.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you.